Hey everyone, I'm Scott Stokely, and I've been meaning to make this for a while, and I've been getting a ton of requests for it. But I said I'd be documenting my entire training as I get ready for the 2022 tour. And this video is going to be entirely about things not related to disc golf. So there's not going to be a single thing here on putting or throwing technique. This is about everything I've done for my body. And one of the things people have noticed, because I've been sharing, is I've had a complete body transformation. I'm actually shocked at 52 years old what I've been able to accomplish in the last 7 or 8 months. But I didn't know going into this. I mean, I started this whole thing by posting a before picture. All right, I'm going on tour next year. I took my shirt off and got on a scale and said, this is what we're starting with. I didn't know where it would end up, but I'm just being transparent. I told you I would take you on the journey. This is part of it. All right, so this video, I asked about this. I said, you want me just to give a quick once over on everything and just basically break down what I do, or should I go into detail? And overwhelmingly, you guys said you want me to go into detail of everything I've been doing. So it's gonna be a little bit of a longer video, but I'm breaking it up into sections and I'm putting markers in the description. So if you wanna skip the diet part and go straight to the weight training, you can just click ahead and I won't be offended. All right, so this is gonna be broken into actually 7 different sections. That's my motivation, the medical portion, my diet, supplements, weight training, cardio, and finally my work with Disc Golf Strong. And I'm just, this is off the cuff. I didn't prepare anything. I just have cliff notes so I don't, miss the important points. But I'm going to start with the motivation, because motivation was the key to all of this. And there's actually 2 reasons why I've worked so hard on my body. The first one I've talked about a lot, which is I did not feel like I had a body at 52 years old that could sustain the training necessary to compete next year. I thought I did, because I was in decent shape for 52 years old. I mean, I certainly was probably healthier than average at 52. Once I started training, it wasn't even close. So I had to get my body in position to train. I did a full, honest assessment of myself and said, there's a lot of work to be done. But there's a second part of my motivation, and this really is a big part, and that is I have so much respect for the athletes that play disc golf on the pro tour that I honestly believe, now I'm only speaking for myself here, but I feel like there would be nothing more disrespectful than for me to just walk out onto the course next year and go, I used to be good, I can compete with you young guns. No, that would be like discrediting everything everyone else has accomplished to get as good as they've gotten. I want everyone to know that I have so much respect for you that I'm going to do everything I can to prepare myself to compete against you. So I'm motivated by both of those things. By the way, the respect ends the minute I tee off the first hole, then you're the enemy and I want to beat you. But the rest of the time, a lot of respect. All right, so that's my motivation. The second thing I did is I went to my doctor and I did a full battery of tests. I wanted to know where I was lacking, what I was unhealthy in. I did a full metabolic panel. They tested for hormones. They tested for cancer, STDs. I did a colonoscopy, literally not necessarily related just to training, but I wanted to make sure I was in the best health of my life. I got all the results back, and I was a little bit anemic, and I had to got prescribed folic acid, for instance, right? But I found out that other levels were fine, and I just need to keep doing what I'm doing. But really, I needed to figure out where my body wasn't performing optimally, and then change that. And everything I'm doing in this area is geared 100% towards health. This is not about sports training, it's about being healthy, but that's the foundation of the training that was to come. So definitely that was a critical step. And I found out that I was in really good shape, but not as good as I could have been. All right, the third part is diet. And I gotta start here with a disclaimer because I'm gonna go off on a rant here. I've never studied this. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionalist. I'm not a doctor. I'm going to be speaking right out the side of my neck. This is the opinion of someone that is maybe well educated and well read, but please take this with a grain of salt. And I will tell you right now, a ton of you are going to disagree with me on this, but I don't care. I'm going to share what I did and what I believe, and take it for what it's worth. So the first thing I felt like I needed to do with my diet is that I needed to lose body fat. Again, if you look at the before picture, I certainly wasn't obese, but I had some extra, and I thought that needed to go. Up until that point, until I decided to tour, I was perfectly content being a little bit lazier, eating candy and milkshakes, and just not being too heavy. To lose the weight, I did what I truly believe is the most effective way of weight loss, and that is I did not follow a diet. This is not keto, it's not carnivore, it's not vegan, it's not Atkins, it's not Weight Watchers. It's really just common sense. And what I did was I eliminated 5 foods. And 4 of those foods that I eliminated they're filler. Like, they truly exist primarily because the good stuff costs a lot more money to make. So you want 3/4 of the calories to come from this empty stuff. And those 4 foods were bread, tortillas, pasta, and rice. And all of these, like I said, they're filler. I mean, you go to a Chinese restaurant, you can get it with no rice, get it on vegetables, and it tastes effectively exactly the same, and you've gotten rid of 75% of your calories. You can get a hamburger without a bun. By the way, the first time I ordered a hamburger in a lettuce wrap, I felt like an idiot. Then I got used to it, and when I started seeing what was happening to my body, now I feel pretty good about that decision, but it felt weird, 100% weird. But getting rid of the empty calories in breads. And then the 5th thing was I got rid of the sweet sugars. Now, I'm very careful to say that I got rid of sweet sugars because if you go read the labels of bottles, I mean, there's sugar in everything. You know, the one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to go to a grocery store and spend 3 hours reading labels. I'm not going to call a restaurant before I go there to ask if there's sugar in the tomato soup. I'm sorry, I got way more important things to do than spending my time doing that. Instead, I eliminated candy, ice cream, soda, a huge one, just really sugar, sweets. And that probably took, 80 or 90% of the sugar out of my diet, but it was really easy. My friend Crunch Schumann said it perfectly, because he's actually doing the same thing, and it's helping him be successful too. There's a million foods out there to eat. I only got rid of 5. That doesn't feel like dieting. It doesn't feel like a sacrifice. I got rid of 5 things. It's not easy. But that's where weight loss comes from. And this is where I go off into a little rant here. Forgive me, but it's my channel. Exercise and cardio, there's no question those are good for your health. That is not where you lose weight. All right? This is just a fact. You know, we've been brainwashed by generations of infomercials and gym ads, and then even really smart people, doctors, are bought into this because of, literally probably $1 billion in marketing. If you get on a treadmill for 45 minutes and you're able to survive not dying of boredom from it, when you step off, you've burned about as many calories as there are in about a half a can of soda. That's not how you lose weight. You don't lose weight at the gym. It's nonsense. You lose weight by removing empty calories. And I only ask this to everybody. How many overweight friends do you know where you've gone to their house and you've seen a treadmill in their garage or the living room? How many of them are thin now? Probably none. And if there is one that gets on the treadmill all the time and has lost the weight and kept it off, I'll guarantee you 100% they also made a radical change to their diet. Even if they believe it's that treadmill 6 days a week that's doing it for them, you won't find one who's on the treadmill who's eating what they used to eat, who's lost weight. So I told you I'd be on a rant here. If you want to lose weight, it's about calories and it's about empty calories because it's sustainable. It's like screw measuring stuff in the kitchen and screw 3 hours reading labels. I don't got time for that. Get rid of these major things. That's where the weight's coming off. Okay, back to Me. Supplements. Okay, supplements are a huge part of what I've been doing. Right off the bat, lots of protein. I've actually been doing a minimum of 200 grams a day, sometimes up to 300. From everything I understand, being that I'm about 210 pounds now, anything over about 200 grams of protein is being wasted. That there's a point where you're not getting any more gains from it. So I'm not trying to hit 300, but just my diet and the way I've been eating, that's about what I've wound up at. By the way, back to diet real quick. I should point out, I've eliminated those foods, those 5 things, and now I eat whatever I want. Pretty much as I want. Tons of fruit, tons of vegetables, tons of meat, tons of cheese, focusing on high protein, but I eat. I literally sit in bed and snack at night before I go to sleep, and lost weight. So, but my diet now consists of pretty high protein stuff. So about 200 grams of protein. I am also huge now, diehard believer in amino acids. And complete disclaimer, we'll flash some pictures up here in a minute. These guys are paying me. So they are a major sponsor of mine. It's called the Amino Company. Now that you know that I may have an ulterior motive, I'm going to tell you the facts, which are I started using these because they work. Another little rant here. The vast majority of supplements out there are placebos. And when I say the vast majority, I mean the vast majority. If a product cannot survive a randomized, placebo-controlled, double-blind study, then it is not effective. And the vast majority of supplements have never subjected themselves to an actual real study of that kind because they know they'll fail. Placebos. There are, however, a couple supplements that are the real deal. Protein is a big one. We know protein works. Amino acids are huge. This is what I've been using to help build muscle, but also a huge part of muscle recovery, a huge part of maintaining energy during workouts, because I'll be getting to my workouts. It's been pretty heavy. More energy throughout the day. It promotes, amino acids do all sorts of things. There's a whole lot of these amino acids you need, especially the vital ones. And they promote more restful sleep. We all know more restful sleep is healthy in every way. It helps build muscle when you're able to sleep. Focus, energy, concentration, motivation. Amino acids are responsible for your body being able to produce serotonin, which regulates mood control. So, huge fan of the Amino Company. And one quick sales pitch. If you're interested, there's going to be a link down below with a code where you can get a discount. So I highly recommend them, but make sure you use that code because they're not cheap. They're cheaper with the code. So in addition to that, one of the other supplements that we know for a fact works is creatine. And I don't do a separate creatine because the amino acids I take, the ones I take before I work out, have creatine in them. So creatine, amino acids, high levels of protein, and then of course vitamins and minerals and everything else. I do supplement my protein with a lot of protein shakes. I'm a big fan of pure protein. It's something you can buy at any Walgreens or CVS or grocery stores or Walmart, but pure protein has 1 gram of sugar in it, so it doesn't have the sweet sugar, and 30 grams of protein. So I literally drink 4, 5, 6 of those every single day. Literally, that's what I drink with every meal, is the pure protein. So that's the one I find that has the most extra nutrients in it as well. So I'm also getting 30 other nutrients at the levels I need. All right, so now that I'm doing all these things, got the weight off, I got all the supplements, I'm ready to go. I've been working out hard. And I've been working out really hard. My regimen at the gym, because of the travel, I will sometimes miss days and then double up days. But what I have been very close to getting just about right is I work out for 2 days, take a day off. Work out for 2 days, take a day off. So I do my workouts in 3-day cycles. And I've just broken upper half of the body, lower half of the body and stomach, day off is how I've broken out. You can do push-pull days. There's other things that are kind of trendy. That's too complicated for me. What I do at the gym, is first off, I try to mix free weights and machine weights. And the reason I mix those up is that you can't just do machine weights. I mean, you can do anything, but you don't want to just do machine weights because that isolates muscles, and you can build stronger muscles that you're isolating because since you have more control, you can lift more. However, free weights, even though you can't lift as much, you're forced to use other stabilizing muscles. You have to, your mobility, your balance. I mean, there's a lot of things that happen, benefits to doing it with free weights. So I try to mix a good balance between machines and free weights. And I also, when I work on a body part, I mix up as many different exercises as possible. So if I'm doing 3 different chest exercises on one of those days, I don't just always do bench press, incline bench press, butterfly curls. I'll mix it up with free weights, dumbbell butterflies. I'll hit it at different angles, free weights and machine. But I try to mix it up. Variety is more fun, but I'm also trying to work everything. The workout I'm doing as far as the weights is I'm really not doing anything specific to disc golf. You use so many different muscles that I think the most effective thing is just to build a stronger body, or at least that's what my belief is. I'm just going to have a stronger total body in every single area, and I think that's going to benefit me. So I don't really do a disc golf workout. I just do a full body. But what I do is on my upper body day, I do 2 different bicep exercises. With all of these, I do 4 sets and 8 reps. I don't get into doing 6 and then lowering the weight to do 8. That's way too confusing and complicated to me. Every single exercise I do, I just do 4 sets of 8. I max out my weights, always trying to gain larger and larger and get stronger. Even if I go larger for 2 of the sets and then have to go back down to the original weight for 2, I'm always trying to push farther. I'm never content. But I do 2 bicep exercises, and then I do 3 different upper back exercises. I always do biceps first because I don't know if this is gym myth or not, but I isolate the biceps first. I try to fatigue them, so when I'm doing other exercises that also use the biceps, pull downs, lat exercises, that if my biceps are fatigued, then it kind of forces the back to engage more. I believe that's effective. Again, not an expert. I think it's right though. Then I do the same thing with triceps, and then I kind of wear those out, and then I do chest exercises that would use triceps, but more chest and tricep. And I do 2 bicep, 3 back, 2 tricep, 3 chest, and then I do 3 shoulder exercises. And each of those is 4 sets and 8 reps each. It takes about 2 hours at a decent pace. I mean, it's a long workout because I go really hard. And then on my second day, I do 3 different quadriceps exercises, which also are glute exercises because there's an overlap between your glutes and your quads with most exercises. I do 2 hamstring, 2 calves. I do 1 exercise abductor and 1 adductor, your legs going in and out. I always feel silly on those machines for some reason. I don't know why, but clearly when you're doing an X step, your legs are going in and out. It seems clear to me it would benefit me. And then I do 5 different stomach exercises, 4 sets, 8 reps each. I try to do these with resistance if possible. I do weights when I can, but not everyone is set up to do that. So sometimes I'll do them slower. Sometimes I'll do them a very, I think it's isometric, not really isometric, but I'm going really slow and I'm tensing really hard, even though technically I could do the movement easily. I force it hard. But I'm doing a lot of stomachs. I've come to the conclusion that abs are impossible to get. Like, I think I have almost no body fat and I'm like, everything looks good. I still can't see an ab muscle on me, but I know that they're there. And then I take a day off. Basically every single exercise I have, or body part I work, I have a 2-day rest period afterwards. That's pretty much minimum. I mean, you don't want to be doing every other day of the same body part. And you can even space it farther apart from my understanding, but the 3-day cycle has been what is good for me. This is an area where I would say like if I was recommending this, like I highly recommend if you're trying to lose weight, the way I'm eating, I think is great. I don't recommend this regimen at the gym. I think you could literally cut this in half and it would be far more sustainable. It's really hard to go to the gym and just do weights for a little over 2 hours, 2 out of 3 days. I am so motivated. It's my career. It's my job. I'm out on tour. I'm under the microscope. I'm building my brand. I mean, there's so many reasons why I'm motivated to do this. If it was just overall health, I think I would get burned out doing this pretty quickly. So if you are going to, hit the gym, which is not a bad idea, I would literally cut this one in half, and you're still going to see some fantastic gains. But maybe you can sustain it, which is way more important than doing it hard for a month and quitting. All right. The next is cardio, and if at all possible, I don't do cardio in the gym. I think cardio in the gym is, well, first off, I think it's for just weight loss, it's borderline a myth. Everybody's going to tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That's fine. But I try to just be really active outside. I like to run hills. Run's not the right word. I'm sorry. I don't like to run. I think running is also borderline a myth because you can walk, get your heart rate up. You can walk up a hill, get your heart rate super elevated, just as much as running, but you're not putting the impact on your knees, your shins, your feet, your hips. I think there's as much to be lost in running as just walking hard. So I don't run the hills. I call it running the hills because it sounds cooler, but I will walk up the hills really fast. If I'm in the gym, I usually do the stair. Is it called Stairmaster? I do the stairs because just a treadmill, even on an incline, really doesn't do much for me. I'd have to be on there for probably hours to really feel like I get my heart rate up. And treadmills are torture. By the way, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, go search for the history of treadmills on YouTube. Treadmills were literally invented for prisoners as a way of punishing them. Like if you were being totally unruly, they'd put you on a treadmill because number one, it sucked. And number two, it would wear you out. So treadmills were a torture device. That's what they were invented for. So I will do them only because I'm trying to not get fatigued at a professional athletic event that I'm getting paid to do. Other than that, I could never get on a treadmill. I'd be bored silly. So outside, I mean, cardio should happen outside if possible, but we travel, so I have to do it sometimes. But that's my little rant on cardio. And then the final is Disc Golf Strong. And I'm only going to talk about this one briefly because I did a 6-part or 7-part video series on it. I'll put a link below. But Seth Muncy at Disc Golf Strong, this is exercise specific to disc golf. I mean, I mentioned the abductor and adductor are kind of disc golf related, but really Disc Golf Strong is about disc golf. Seth Muncy is the best in the world at understanding movement and training and building muscle and creating flexibility and mobility and having stable joints that are stable. And I don't want to speak on behalf of him because I went out to Las Vegas for a week and worked with him, and he got me on a regimen that is specific to me that isn't necessarily going to be what's best for you. So the best thing to do there is I recommend joining the Disc Golf the Disc Golf Strong Performance Academy. Full disclaimer, unlike the amino acids, I'm not being paid for this one. I'm not sponsored by Disc Golf Strong. I'm just a believer. I have not done the best job because I've been so busy actually tracking and monitoring this, but I have been doing the exercises. They are harder than you think, but they're also, honestly, they're more fun than lifting weights. I mean, you're doing them outside if you want, or you can do them inside too, but they're more enjoyable and personally challenging, but they are geared towards stabilizing the things you need so you don't get injured playing disc golf, and also giving you the mobility so you can be more successful playing disc golf. And that's a long video, and I did that whole thing without taking a single breath. But this is what I've been doing. And I will point out that I am making a change to this very shortly. I will not be keeping this routine when I'm out on tour. When I'm out on tour, I'll continue to do my Disc Golf Strong, because a lot of that's just maintenance. But I'm cutting my my weight training by about 50%, because I do not want to be fatigued. I will be doing my weight training at the beginning of each week. That way I have several days removed from being at the gym when the tournament starts, and I'm certainly not going to be at the gym the night before a tournament round. So I don't expect to get much stronger, not really during the season, but I want to maintain what I've done so far. I also will, I'll probably cut a little back on my protein because I am doing less things that I'm, supplementing protein for. So I will make some changes, but my diet's going to stay the same, and I'm going to stay just as healthy. And this is what I've done. And I will say one last time, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So take all of this with a grain of salt. And I'm not saying that exercise is bad for you when you're trying to lose weight. I'm not saying anything of the sort. I'm just saying my observations have been that what I'm doing, if you do it, will work. And my observations have been lots of people go out and hit treadmills and join gyms and don't lose weight. I haven't seen it work, but what I'm doing just simply will, like 100% guaranteed. So that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this.